Hi guys, for story time today, we're going to practice a reading strategy. And the strategy that we're practicing is called text connections, making connections to text. And the text is what we're reading. And the connections we make, there's three different types of connections. There's text to text. So something we read can remind you of a book. There's text to self, which it can remind you of something of a time that you connected to a character, or you can make a connection text to world where in the book it reminds you of something that you saw, something that you saw in the world on your own. Okay. So for today, we are going to make a text to self connection. And some of you guys have been practicing this in your daily five when reading Raz Kids stories because sometimes there's a character that reminds you of yourself or something that a character does reminds you of yourself. But what you're going to do today when you read the book about Alexander is you're going to think of three questions. You're going to think, does anything in this story remind you of anything in your own life? Can you relate to the characters in the story? That means, have you ever felt like Alexander? Has anything ever felt super horrible to you? And the last question you're going to maybe ask yourself to make a text to self connection is, what does this story remind you of? Okay. So as you listen to the story, I want you to listen carefully and kind of put your brain to Alexander's brain. Okay. And you're going to think, how am I like Alexander? Did I ever feel like him? Does this ever feel like something I felt before? His feelings? Did I ever feel like him? Or did anything in the story remind you of something for yourself? So this is about making a connection from you to the story. Okay. So listen carefully to the story. You can even listen to it 2 times. And in the first box on your worksheet, you're going to draw something that maybe Alexander experienced. That means something he felt, something he did, something he saw. Right. And then following the arrow to the box that says you right over here, you're going to draw your connection to Alexander. So, for example, for me, sometimes I wake up in a not so good mood. So, in the first box, I can draw Alexander waking up in his room with a sad, grumpy face. And then over here in the me box, I would draw me waking up in a not so good mood. So please don't copy me. If you're inspired by me, that's okay, but try to think of your own text to self connection. And then down here, you're going to write your connection. And you can use some of your own sentence starters. And sentence starters can be something like, I feel like Alexander when, or this story reminded me of. And you can also write, um, I felt like Alexander, or I was just like Alexander when. So you can write your own sentence that matches your picture so we can all understand. And then I want you to post this on your Flipgrid. If you do not print out this page, that's okay. You can just put 2 boxes on your notebook and then you can draw your text to self connection and write a simple sentence. Okay. And then on your video, you can explain if you want a little bit more. I also want you to listen and read the book 2 times because on Thursday, we're going to have a focus lesson on reading. Okay. All righty. See you soon.